What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, I want to discuss this article that I see here about Jacob Blake, the man who got shot 7 times in his back by the police a few, weeks ago, maybe last month. And he has released a statement to the press. And the press has kind of been focusing on the wrong things. I've looked over a few articles here, and a lot of them are stuck on the fact, for some reason, quoting him as saying that I'm in pain, all right? This is supposed to be what Jacob Blake is saying. I'm in pain and things like that. And my thing is, well, shit, of course, I would imagine he is in pain. He got shot 7 times in his back. I would imagine that stings a little bit. There might be a little bit of discomfort. You know what I'm saying? It kind of reminds me of that scene in RoboCop, where the original RoboCop, where Clarence and his group of hoods, they shoot RoboCop, before he becomes RoboCop. What was his name? Murphy? They shoot Murphy, and he's like crawling on the ground. He just got shot something like 700 times, and they're like, does it hurt? They're kind of like taunting him, you know what I mean? Oh, poor baby, does it hurt? Does it sting? And yeah, you just got through making Swiss cheese out of this guy, you know what I mean? It's kind of obvious, yeah, so, for them to make that their headline, I'm in pain, it's just like, bruh, but I saw one article, and it kind of highlighted a quote that I feel it's a powerful message, and I feel like if there's anything that Jacob Blake really wants people to know, other than the fact that he's in pain, I think that this will probably be the most important thing that he's trying to get out there. So I want to help to put that message out there because I believe in it as well. All right, so I'm going to read from thehill.com, and the headline here is Jacob Blake, and this is a quote from Jacob Blake. I'm telling you, change your lives out there. All right, that's a quote from Jacob Blake. I am telling you, change your lives out there. Change your lives. All right, now that's a very, very interesting thing for him to say, considering what just happened to him. If you go by the narrative that's out there, by the media, the SJWs and Black Lives Matter and stuff, the only thing he should be saying was, they shot me, man. I want justice. I can't believe I got shot all up in my back. I wasn't doing nothing and they shot me. But that's not what he's saying, all right? It's interesting that he would make it a point to say, change your lives, all right? Of course he's looking for justice. He got shot 7 times, all right? I'm kind of thinking there was a way to go about it where you wouldn't get shot 7 times, but okay, all right? But more than that, he wants people to know that you should change your lives. That kind of suggests to me a mentality that's saying that maybe if I had done something different here, this might not have happened, or at least it would have lessened the possibility that it could have happened to me. All right. So the article goes on. All right. Jacob Blake, the black man who was shot several times in the back by a white police officer, and of course they got to frame it that way because if not, they want to make sure that you get yourself upset. You're not going to get upset as much if they just say a man got shot by the police. No, it's got to be Jacob Blake, the black man who was shot several times by a white police officer in Kenosha, Wisconsin last month, is calling for his supporters to stick together and realize that their lives could be taken away from them at any moment. Okay, now we have another quote by Jacob Blake. He goes on to say, I just want to say to all the young cats out there and even the older ones, there's a lot more life to live out here, man. Blake said while speaking from a hospital bed in a video that was posted by his family's attorney, Benjamin Crump, on Saturday. Your life, and not only just your life, your legs can be taken from you like this, Blake said before snapping his fingers. All right, so he's trying to let people know you have to value your life, man. There are too many young black people, people in general, but definitely young black people. Young black men have a problem with this, seeing their place in the future. I know when I was a younger man, I thought to myself, I didn't see myself as being an older person with a child and responsibilities and stuff like that. I never saw myself past maybe my teen years or early 20s. You know what I mean? And I think this is what he's talking about. See your life. It's valuable. Make the proper decisions based upon the fact that you do want to be around earlier. You don't just want to be, later. You just don't want to be, I don't give a shit, I don't give a damn. It's like that's something you hear in hip hop a lot, if you guys haven't noticed. A lot of the young brothers always saying, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. That was like in gangster rap, you hear that all the time. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. Usually that's what you say before you mess up your life. I don't give a damn. All right. It goes on to say, the comments mark the first time Blake has spoken publicly since video of a Kenosha police officer shooting him reignited nationwide demonstrations. Blake, 29, was shot multiple times in the back on August 23rd after officers responded to a report of a domestic disturbance. Video showed an officer trailing behind Blake and firing his weapon 7 times after Blake leaned into his car. Blake is paralyzed from the waist down, according to his family. I don't know if there's going to be a recovery from that. I don't know if that's permanent. It doesn't really specify that here. While speaking in a green gown from his hospital bed, Blake said his stomach and back had been stapled. He also said he experiences pain 24 hours a day, noting it hurts to breathe, eat, and sleep. Blake says, "You do not want to have to deal with this. Please, I'm telling you, change your lives out there. We can stick together, make some money, make everything easier for our people." Now keep in mind, guys, what he's saying, people need to hear this. You want to make things easier for yourself, not harder for yourself. I tell my son that all the time. Every choice that you make, I don't care how big or how small, has the ability to be able to forever change the course of your life. You always have to be in your moment. You always have to know the decisions that you're making and why. All right, it's very important. You want to make things easier, not harder. All right, these people out here want us to be victims forever. That's what their problem is. You think these people are our allies, these SJWs, these so-called liberals out here. It's not, it's far from that. There is a whole industry that operates from black people being in jail, the prison industrial complex. It runs on us, our economy. Everything runs on an underclass. That includes poverty, because it's not all about race. It's not all about race. It's not all about race. All right? It's about class more than anything. It's about rich. It's about poor. And it's about the rich getting richer. That's what it's about. And it's about exploiting other people who are less fortunate, who have less opportunities. So it becomes even more important for you to be more purposeful with your life and don't resolve yourself to being a victim. The Justice Department and Wisconsin officials have initiated investigations into the shooting in Kenosha. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden last week said, "Who gives a fuck what Joe Biden said, all disrespect." Moving on. Blake on Friday made a virtual court appearance from his hospital bed. I don't want this to be politicized, just like his parents. His father said, "I don't want to politicize what happened to my son, so whatever Joe Biden said, I'm not interested," okay? Blake on Friday made a virtual appearance from his hospital bed. His attorney submitted not guilty pleas to charges unrelated to the August 23rd incident, which reportedly included third-degree sexual assault, misdemeanor criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct. Well, that would be something you want to change your life from. So like I said, I give him credit for saying that. You got to change your life, all right? I imagine he's got a lot of time to think about whatever he was into up until now. Protests erupted in Kenosha and other U.S. cities in response to Blake's shooting, with activists demanding lawmakers put in place policies to combat police brutality. And well, I imagine one thing that you can put in place to combat police brutality would be educating your population and your masses to have stronger families. Like I said before, that is the first step. You have to begin at home. All right, there are always going to be asshole cops out there, sick, demented, power tripping, cops out there, racist cops out there, just like anybody else. All right, you could have a racist trash man. All right, but as long as you put your garbage can out there, he's probably going to do his job. He might hate your guts, but he's probably going to do his job. He might not like it, but there you go. There's racists in every place you look, all right? You're going to have people who are going to be bigots. I don't care. You can be black, you can be white, you can be Spanish, whatever, all right? All right, the demonstrations came just a few months after police footage of the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis sparked mass protests across the nation. Now, the difference here, of course, is that Jacob Blake did not die. All right, so it makes one wonder, it makes me wonder, if George Floyd had lived, if Eric Garner had lived, if Freddie Gray had lived, whether they might rethink the lives that they were living up until that point. It doesn't mean that they deserve to get shot. It doesn't mean that they deserve to get killed, all right? It doesn't mean that they deserve to get killed. It doesn't mean that they deserve to get killed. All I'm saying is that every man is the master of himself. Every woman is the master of himself. There are always going to be people who are brutalized by cops, who are killed by cops. The only question you have is, how do I lessen the possibility that it could happen to me? All right, that's the choice that I also have had to wrestle with in my life. I choose to be law-abiding. I choose to be polite. I choose to be obedient in my interactions with cops. All right, that can be a start. And I choose to educate my child and my loved ones the same way. Adopting a victimhood mentality will only endanger you. All right, so all these people out here who want to put us out there as victims and stop hunting us and you're killing us and all that stuff. No, all right? It starts with you, all right? And then there can be, it's like I always say, there can be no real outrage. No real outrage can there be until you know that you are right and you're doing the things that you need to be doing. That's when you can get justice and it will be no problem. All right, and if there is a problem, that's when you fight harder. All right, I'm not out here saying that there's not racism. I'm not out here saying these things. I'm saying look inside. All right, direct your life the way you need to first, and then you go out into the world and you expect the best. You demand the best, and when you don't get that, or if you get shafted or anything like that, then you come back stronger. You best believe, if I'm going to be a law-abiding citizen, I'm going to raise a law-abiding citizen as a son and all that stuff. If anything happens to any of my people, I'm unleashing hell. And that I don't care what race you are. All right? Injustice is injustice. And that's what you fight against, and that's what you win against, or you die trying. All right? But I'll be damned if I'm going to be a criminal. It's like when I used to get my ass beat by my father when I was younger. If he caught me, and my father was a cop, all right? If he caught me stealing, one thing my pops did not go for is stealing. If I took a penny out of his dresser, I got lit up, all right? That was back in the day, of course. These days, who knows? But the point is that you learn to hold yourself to a higher standard. You know what I mean? And you expect that when you're doing that, it'll be okay. All right, but if you're not, if you're indulging in a life of crime, like if my pops caught me stealing, like I was saying, if he caught me stealing, I knew what was going to happen to me. I didn't sit there like, okay, why did you whoop me? Why did you yell at me? It's not right. My father is haunting me. He hates me. My life matters, Dad. It's like I might get another beating based on that. No, you have accountability and you accept that what you did, your wrongdoing, is what led to what happened. All right? Now, when it's extreme, like getting shot and stuff like that, you fight for your justice. All right? But this is my point. The first thing you do is make sure you're right. That's it. That's the first thing you do. You make sure you're right. Okay, so don't come to me with innocent people that have been shot by cops. I already said when that happens, you fight for your justice and you win no matter what. All right, but when you're wrong, you're already starting off in a losing position. All right, so what Jacob Blake is saying here is so very powerful. Change your life if you need to. All right? That's what you do. Jacob Blake, much respect. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what you've been into, but at least now you have the clarity to actually make a statement like that. And I hope that you're able to live by that. I hope that you're able to make a full recovery in the knowledge that you have to change. All right? And that's what I'm talking about. And I hope that you take your message out there, even though the media, I'm almost sure, are not going to give you a voice when it comes to stuff like this. But that's why you have people like me who are out there, all right, who honestly love the people. You can't love the people by telling them no matter what you do, you don't deserve, or not that you don't deserve, but you can't expect that something bad is going to happen to you. All right? You have to make better decisions, and you can expect a better outcome. All right? That's where true outrage comes from. Otherwise, we're just making noise, and other people are just using us and weaponizing us for their own political gain. All right, guys. So what do you think of Jacob Blake's statement that you have to change? All right? What do you think of it? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? I don't want to hear, well, he still didn't deserve. Okay, we already established that. All right, so if you want to just go on and do that, then go ahead, man. But you can get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And I am on Twitter. I will leave that link in the description box below. Come and give me a follow. All right, guys, I am speaking out of love. I hope that you take it that way. I'll see you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.